नारायणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. We welcome all devotees, and I'm thankful to Brajeshwar Shyam Prabhu especially for giving me this opportunity to talk about how devotees should manage their personal finances. Prabhuji, can you give me screen sharing rights?
Yeah, Vedamji. Yes, sir.
My screen is visible?
Yeah, it is.
6
yeah.
crores for smart investors. Is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
My voice is clear, Prabhu?
Your voice is very clear, Prabhuji. So I'm muting all others, Prabhuji. At last we'll open that. That
Yes,
will be
sir.
better.
Yeah, what I will prefer, Prabhu, ki what devotees can ask the questions which are relevant to the topic at that time only, and if something which is about other topic, that can be taken at the end. Like
Okay, sure.
if you're talking about, say, we're talking about term plan, so questions related to term plan can be asked at that time only. Maybe they can raise their hand, and you can unmute them. And questions which are like other than that we can take in the end.
Sure, Prabhuji. సో మీరు అందరూ కూడా మ్యూట్ లో ఉండండి, ఎవరు కూడా అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోవద్దు. ఆయన చెప్పినప్పుడు మీకు ఏమైనా డౌట్ ఉంటే కనుక మీరు కొంచెం హ్యాండ్ రేజ్ చేస్తే మిమ్మల్ని అన్మ్యూట్ చేస్తాను నేను. సో ఆ టైంలో మీరు ప్రశ్న అడగొచ్చు. అర్థమైంది కదా అందరికీ కూడా? కొంచెం ఫోర్స్ మ్యూట్ చేస్తున్నాను అందరినీ కూడా, ఎందుకంటే ఆ డిస్టర్బెన్స్ ఉంటే మనకి క్లారిటీ ఉండదు. సో మీరు అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోవడం కావదు. మీకు ఏమైనా అవసరం ఉంటే మీరు హ్యాండ్ రేజ్ చేయండి, అప్పుడు నేను అన్మ్యూట్ చేస్తాను. సో అందరినీ మ్యూట్ చేస్తున్నాను. Gopal Prabhuji, you can unmute.
Yes, sir, I had done that. Thank you. Okay. So the first rule of any financial planning, any investment management is protection. So we have to protect whatever we have right now and whatever we are going to accumulate in the future. So you want me to pause after a few sentences so that you can explain it in the language?
Prabhuji, actually I'm recording everything. So I will repeat it once you just complete it, no? Then one more session I'll conduct and I'll repeat the same thing to them also. So I think you can just go ahead with your presentation.
Yes, true. And in between, if you want me to elaborate anything further, please let me know.
Sure.
So the first principle of protection is, see, there are three kind of protections. One is our term plan, which will be covered in life insurance. So most of us are working and we are bringing some salary at our home, and our present expenses as well as future expenses that will be taken care by our annual income. And in case something happens to us, and especially devotees, as a devotees, we know that life is uncertain. Anything can happen anytime. So if something happens to us, then we don't want our family to be dependent on our assets. Like for children education, some plot need to be sold. For children's marriage, some house need to be sold. This kind of thing should not happen. So we need to have a term plan. So we need to have life insurance. And there are various ways in which life insurance can be taken, but the preferred way is term plan. So what happens in term plan? We pay some fixed premium every year. Say for example 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, depending on the age. And we get covered for 2 crore, 3 crore, 5 crore kind of thing. So now in this case, if something happens to us, then our family will be getting that lump sum amount, say 3 crore. And those 3 crore kept in a bank FD or 3 crore kept in a mutual fund, that will continue to take care of our expenses. Say, for example, someone is having a salary of say 30 lakhs a year and something happens to him. Then his family will get 3 crore and this 3 crore will generate 30 lakhs per year. So even if that person is not there, the family will continue to get 30 lakhs per year, which can take care of that family's present as well as future needs. So this is one of the, in fact, first and most important principle of protection. So people call it a life insurance. We call it insurance of your income. So this is insurance of our income. So irrespective of whether we are there or not, our family will our family will continue to get the income. So this is insurance of income. Then there is something second called as insurance of your savings. Now this insurance of our savings can be taken through this Mediclaim cover or health cover. Now what happens? We all know that this 4 things are unavoidable. Janma, Mrityu, Jara Vyadhi. So disease can happen anytime to us. And if you're not having this health cover or health insurance cover, then that hospitalization can eat up our years ka saving. Sometimes it might cost us 10 lakhs, it might cost us 15 lakhs or 20 lakhs. So if you have this health insurance, then this 20 lakhs will not come from our savings. So what happens? Someone starts saving 50,000 a month, 30,000 a month, and he accumulates 20 lakhs. And if he has to get hospitalized, then whole 20 lakhs can be gone in that particular week or particular month. So we need to protect our savings from this expense. That's why we need to have this health cover. So again, this health insurance, we don't call it a health insurance because health cannot be insured. We call it as a insurance of our savings. Then the second most important rule is save and invest. So someone might be earning 10 lakhs rupees a year, and after that his salary increases to 20 lakhs a year, and his salary increases to 30 lakhs a year. But if he is not saving, then that increase in salary of no use. But someone who is earning 10 lakhs a year right now, and if he can save 50,000 per month or say 5 lakhs per year, when his salary grows from 10 lakhs to 20 lakhs, he should be able to save at least 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs per year. And when his salary grows to 30 lakhs, he should be able to save at least 15 lakhs, 16 lakhs per year. So only increase in salary may not be useful. Along with increase in our income, we should be able to increase in our savings. And only savings also may not help. So if someone is able to save 50,000 a month, so in a year he'll be able to save only 6 lakhs. And in 10 years, that amount will become only 60 lakhs. Now 60 lakhs might sound a big amount right now, but if you see after 10 years, 60 lakhs may not be that big amount. So our savings, we need to invest for that savings, for that savings to be grown. So the second most important rule is we need to save and invest. So this is a general thumb rule. We should be able to save at least 30-40% of our income. In case of devotees, this percentage can be more because we don't want to keep on working till age 65 or 70 and then having a free time. Devotees would like to get free from this all material affair as early as possible. And as per Shastras, we should be able to complete all this material thing by the age 50. So for us to be
Pravi, you're muted. One minute.
So for us to be financially free as early as possible, so for us to be financially free before the age 50, we need to save a larger portion of our income. So this is 30-40% for outside world people. For devotees, this percentage can be a little higher, depending on individual income and expenses.
Pravi, 1 minute, Pravi. Can I check with them so whether they're along with us or they're lacking? 1 minute, just check.
Please.
Yeah. సో మీరు ఇప్పుడు అందరూ కూడా అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోవచ్చండి. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఒకే ఒక క్వశ్చన్ అడుగుతున్నాను. ఇప్పుడు ఇంతవరకు చెప్పింది మీకు అంత అర్థమైందా? కొంచెం ఆయన ఎక్కువ తొందరగా చెప్తున్నారు అనిపిస్తుందా? ఒక్కోదాని మీద కొంచెం ఎక్కువ చెప్పాలనిపిస్తుందా మీకు?
లేదు, బానే ఉంది గురుజీ. మాకైతే బానే ఉన్నది.
ఇప్పుడు చూసారు, ఆయన ఇన్సూరెన్స్ ప్లాన్ చెప్పారు. అంటే ఇప్పుడు మన ఉద్యోగంలో ఉన్నప్పుడే చేసుకుంటే రిటైర్మెంట్ టైంకి ఒకవేళ ఏదైనా ఆ పర్సన్ కి అయితే మనకు వచ్చే చెప్పారు. రిటైర్ అయిన తర్వాత దాన్ని ఎట్లా చేసుకోవచ్చు? రిటైర్ అయిన తర్వాత అటువంటి ఇబ్బందులు వచ్చినప్పుడు అప్పుడు ఇన్సూరెన్స్ ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా? అది దాని మీద ఏమైనా క్లారిటీ ఉందా మీకు?
అంటే గురూజీ ఇక్కడ నాకు ఒక చిన్న డౌట్ ఉన్నది. ఫస్ట్ పాయింట్ చెప్పారు ఇన్సూరెన్స్ అండ్ ఇన్కమ్. సో ఇన్సూరెన్స్ అండ్ ఇన్కమ్ అంటే ఇన్కమ్ వ్యారీస్ ఫ్రమ్ ఎవ్రీ ఇయర్ టు ఇయర్ నో గురూజీ. సో అది ఎట్లా దాన్ని ఎలా చేయాలి ఇన్సూరెన్స్ అని అన్నది ఒకటి నాకు డౌట్ గా ఉంది.
ఒకసారి సుధాకర్ ప్రభుని ఒకసారి ఇంగ్లీష్ లో అడగమని చెప్పండి. మీరేం అడగచ్చు?
Guruji, I think it is clear actually. Insurance income and insurance of life. That is
No, Guruji, actually what Prabhuji, what my doubt is that usually what you told that insurance and income. So how much income we are getting per year, how we have to invest on that income. You told that you can invest on income on your total salary and salary. First point you told that insurance on income, right now, Prabhu?
Correct.
Can you brief about that?
Yeah. So this life insurance, people call it life insurance, but we all very well know that life cannot be insured. Okay. So we need to have a term plan, so which will in turn will insure our income. So for example, someone is earning 20 lakhs per year right now. So someone's income is 20 lakhs per year. They can take a term plan of 3 crore. So what will happen if something happens to that person, or if that person leaves the body in an untimely way? So the family will get 3 crore rupees, and this 3 crore kept in a bank fixed deposits or 3 crore kept in a mutual fund will continue to earn 20 lakhs or more per year basis. So even if the person is not there, the family will continue to get his salary. Family will continue to get that income. So that family's present and future needs can be taken care.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. But what will be the period? See, what will be the age of the employee? I mean, what will be the age of the insurer?
Very right. So there's a right question. So as we discussed, we should try to become financially free latest by the age 50. Okay. And if we start proper planning and investment, so definitely so someone is starting at the age 30, he can be definitely free before 50. But just in case someone is starting at the age 40, he might have to do this till the age 55. So depending on what age we are starting, we need to have this term plan or insurance of income till the age 50 or 60. Because by age 60, definitely all responsibilities will be over. So after 60, we may not work, we may not have income. Then after 60, this insurance of income is not required. So we should take this up to age 60 or 55, depending on our age.
Okay, Prabhu. So those who are recently retired also, they can take like that 55 years, 56 years, people can also take this?
No. Someone who is recently retired, they don't need this, because someone who is recently retired, they may not have active income. So there most of the responsibilities must be over, like children's education and children's marriage. So for those devotees, this is not required. This is required for devotees of the 30, 40, 45 who are yet to provide for their future goals.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna, a small note, excellent inputs that you have given. But majority of the people here who have congregated are crossed 40. Then what could be your advice to them? And the 3 crores that you have told us, keeping in inflation in the next 20 years to come, Prabhu?
Yeah, so someone who is of the age around 40, if is still working, for them this is most important thing, because we are still working for our financial goals. And if something happens in untimely way, then we might not have been able to provide for all those things. So they need to have this. Then second question regarding the amount, then that amount should be between around 15 times of your annual income. If someone's annual income is 20 lakhs, he need to have 3 crore kind of thing. Someone's annual income is more than that, he can have more. Someone's annual income is less, then he can have less.
So this is the benchmark that we can think about it. Whatever is the current income, in order to make the inflation in the days to come, one has to keep cushioning of 15 times the current income. Is that what you are advising us, please?
Correct. This is the thumb rule, but based on individual need, we can have it little higher or more. But as a thumb rule, it can be 15 times of our annual income.
Sure. Thank you.
So devotees, please feel free to ask the question which are relevant to the topic, because as we move ahead, there will be many topics covered, and we may or may not be able to recollect that topic and the question of it.
Prabhuji, what is the minimum term plan is available for this one? I think people are having for doing this early stages also. The minimum term plan and maximum period, minimum period and maximum period.
Yeah, minimum is 5 years and maximum is up to 100 years of age. So maximum is lifelong and minimum is 5 years.
Okay, that is for the, but what is the term plan available for that one? I think you may have 50 years or 20 years. I think there is some period, specific period will be there now.
Yeah, term plan available is for 5 to 100 years. So someone whose age is 40, he can take it for 5 years or he can take it even for 60 years.
Okay. So there are, okay. And there is some period for which we are making an investment. And after that period, I think you've been getting it returns now.
Yeah, now there are two plans. Now we are going to technicalities, but that's fine.
Okay.
So there are plans available where we have to pay only and we don't get anything returned. There are plans available where we pay and we get whatever we have paid, we get everything back. But in this second category, the premium is higher. So we should go into first category where we don't get anything back. Those are the cheaper and better options. The second category where we get back, the premium is much higher. So those are not the good plans. The additional amount that they get, that amount only get invested and that they give us back. So there is no extra benefit. Does this answer your query, Prabhuji?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes.
So now what are the investment options? Now you must have heard about the first four, like property, then fixed income is our fixed deposits and bonds. Shares and stocks is like shares, stocks and mutual funds. Gold, everyone knows. This remaining 3-4, like there is one more, like now cryptocurrency, guaranteed return and monthly return, all those things. So this second category, which are in black color, we should completely avoid. Especially for devotees, because we may or may not have time to go through it. We may or may not have that kind of mindset and consciousness to get into those things. So for us, we should stick to this top 4, which is like property, bank FDs, mutual funds and gold. And there is something called as cryptocurrency and all those things. We should completely avoid. Then the next rule is start early. So now someone whose age is 40, he cannot go back in the time and start at age 20. So by start early means we need to start at whatever age we are. And especially for our next generation, suppose our children are 15 years of age or 18 years of age, we should teach them to start early. Because if someone starts at age 18 or 20 or 21, he may have a very small amount, he may not be earning, but we need to inculcate the habit of savings and investment into it. So if we tell them at early age, then definitely when they start earning at the age maybe 23 or 24, they can start saving and investment right from their first salary. And if it is done, they can be financially free at the age 40. No matter what age we are starting right now, we can ensure that our next generation is financially free at this time. When they attain the age of 40, they may have their all financial goals taken care. So this inflation, we all know, inflation means the things get costly every year. That is called as inflation. So something which is 1 lakh, something which was at around 1 lakh 25 years back, that thing is close to 5 lakhs today. We all know that whatever rate petrol we are buying and grocery we are buying, anything, mobile phones, laptops, whatever we are buying, the costs are increasing on every year basis. So what is this, means how, whether this inflation impacts to devotees? Yes, this inflation is even impacts to the devotees. So something which is costing 5 lakhs today, 20 years back, it was costing close to 1,60,000. And 20 years down the line, the same thing is going to cost us around 11 lakhs. So we don't have choice but to understand this inflation and invest in an instrument which can protect us from this inflation. And this inflation is the government rate. Actual rate, our day-to-day, what we call lifestyle inflation, there is much higher. We all know the cost of going to Yatra, what it was 20 years back and what it is today. It is much higher. Yeah, now this is the most important part of our presentation today. This is the formula we all know, we must have studied in 7th or 8th standard. This is the compound interest का formula. The amount is equal to principal multiplied by 1 plus rate of interest divided by 100 to the power t or n. So this A is amount, what we'll be getting after 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, depending on what age we are starting. So this is what our target is, A. And this P is what amount we are starting with. Now beyond the point, this amount is also fixed. If someone is having 20 lakhs, he can start only with 20 lakhs. Someone is having 2 crore, he can start only with 2 crore. We can't tell a devotee who has got 2 crore to invest 5 crore because he is having 2 crore only. But this 1 plus R, now R is the rate of interest or rate of growth or how much appreciation we'll be getting. Now this also beyond the point is not in our control. What in our control is this T, time frame. So we invest, whether we invest for 5 years or whether we invest for 10 years or 15 years or 20 years, this is what will define how much the amount will be. Someone who is starting with, say, just a second. Yeah, someone who is starting with 20 lakhs and then his amount grows at the rate 12%. If he stays invested for 3 years, 6 years, 10 years, 20 years, this amount can vary in a big way. So it is said that in our investment world, this is the quote by Einstein, compound interest, this is called compounding effect. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it, earns it. And who doesn't understand it, he pays for it. So we have to replace this thing, how much return I will get with how long I have to invest. So I'll just give a small example. Someone who is investing 10 lakhs today, and if he stays invested for 20 years, that 10 lakhs will become 1.6 crore. If that grows at the rate 15%. So let me repeat this. Someone who is starting with a small amount of 10 lakhs, and if he stays invested for 20 years, this 10 lakhs become 1.6 crore in next 20 years. But due to any reason, he doesn't understand this concept or he is not feeling right about this concept and he don't invest for 10 years. And after 10 years, he comes back, understand it, and again he want 1.6 crore after this 20 years, then he need to invest 40 lakhs. So right now, whatever can happen with 10 lakhs, if he starts after 10 years, he need to start with 40 lakhs. So 10 years has cost him 4 times the amount. So this is the power of compounding. So we need to invest 4 times if we defer our investment by 10 years. So that was for one-time investment. This is the second example if you invest on every year basis. Someone who invests 1 lakh rupees per year for 20 years, that amount can grow to between 50 lakhs to 1 crore 18 lakhs if the amount grows by 8 to 15%. Now various examples we are quoting about different percentage, but between 10 to 12% will be very reasonable to accept, very reasonable to expect the returns. So whatever we invest, that can give comfortable returns between 10 to 12%. Any questions so far, Prabhuji?
Yes. That's fine, Prabhuji. So at the end of the session, I just note it down.
Sure.
Yeah.
You can take it.
So anybody else has got questions, they can raise, please. Is that okay, Sudhakar Prabhu and everybody? Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Guruji. Okay, Prabhu.
Okay.
So the message is don't underestimate compounding. So someone might have, due to whatever reason, a very small amount to save right now or very small accumulated amount. But even that amount, when invested diligently for longer period, can result into higher amounts going forward. So we can have a different goals. So we need to keep in mind every small and big goal and invest accordingly. So the goal can be children education, children's marriage, our retirement, buying a holiday home, going for yatras, and buying a car. So we need to provide for this each goal. Someone might wish to start a goshala, someone might wish to start a farm community, one might wish to contribute in a big way in having temple in their own village. So all these kind of things requires a proper planning in terms of investment and proper saving or from the present time. So which can help us to achieve these goals in a proper way. For example, if someone is to plan for his retirement, his current age is 30, and if he is to retire at the age 50 or 60, then present monthly expenses, which are 50,000, will be more than 2 lakhs at the age 60. So for this kind of example, the corpus required at the age 60 will be more than 4 crore. So this financial planning is important. Otherwise, we tend to think in round figure. We might feel that if I got 2 crore, that will be sufficient. Someone might feel if I got 1 crore, that will be sufficient. But things doesn't work in that way. For a person whose present monthly expense is 50,000, he needs to have more than 4 crores in his savings to live a financial free retired life. Now, if someone is having, suppose someone need to provide for the education expenses for their children. So if we need to have 25 lakhs rupees at the end of 10 years, then we need to save close to between 12,500 to 11,000 per month. That will lead us to the goal of 25 lakhs at the end of 10 years. Someone need to have a retirement corpus of 2 crore after 15 years. Then he need to start investing between 40,000 to 50,000 on per month basis. For next 15 years, then he can accumulate amount of 2 crore. Or the same can be achieved through by investing between 35 to 48,000 on a 35 to 48 lakhs on a lump sum basis. So these are just examples how much amount we need to invest to achieve a particular amount at the end of a particular period. Now the next question comes that out of this given asset class, which one we should choose? Should we invest in real estate or should we invest in bank FD or gold or property? I'm just coming back to that slide. Yeah. So out of this four major asset class like property, bank FD, mutual fund, and gold, out of this, Prabhu, can I ask question to the devotees? They'll be able
Yes,
to
please.
answer.
Yeah.
What is the most liquid out of it? Suppose someone needs 50 lakhs today, and if he is having 50 lakhs in property, 50 lakhs in bank, 50 lakhs in mutual fund, or 50 lakhs in gold, which amount he can withdraw immediately?
Shares
FD
and stocks.
can
F-
shares.
Bank, that is FD or bank.
FD is first.
Correct answer. So it's bank FD or gold or mutual fund that can be withdrawn immediately.
Yeah.
If 50 lakhs is in property, we may not get 50 lakhs even after 3 months because there are a lot of hassles involved. So property is the most illiquid, we can say it is the most illiquid investment. So which one of this required the most maintenance? Maintenance in terms of like taking care of that particular asset and
In my personal
Property.
opinion, it is only property, that too in the form of a house.
correct. So if someone is having a property, then he has to take many things he has to take care of. Someone is having a farmland, then when you take care of that farm properly and there should be proper fencing, you should protect it from encroachment, the title should be clear. So all these things are there.
And
So-
over and over, you have to pay the taxes also.
Yes, property tax is there, correct? And if you're given it on rent, the tenant should be good. He should
Absolutely.
be keeping our property in a proper way. He should
Yes.
give us rent on regular basis. And
Yes.
suppose if he lives in between, then we have to find another tenant and so that the property is not idle. So if someone is having a desire to serve in a farm community, then that is fine. But if someone is looking for a regular income, then especially after a retirement, property may not be a good option. Okay. Right now, till we are working, property can give us a good appreciation. But for a retired person, property management itself can be a big thing. Number one. Number two, it is not liquid. So whenever we need money, we may not get the full amount. Like I had to sell a property worth 2 crore today. I may not get 2 crore even if I sell it for 1.5 crore. At whatever rate I'm willing to sell, nobody will give money nobody will give me the money in next 2-3 days. So for a retired or the financially free devotees, property can be the third or fourth option. It should definitely not be the first option. Then second is fixed income or bank FD. Now each devotee, irrespective of the age, need to have some fixed deposit in bank.
Really?
Yeah, so each devotee, irrespective of the age, irrespective of the requirement, need to have some FDs in bank. Now FDs generally tend to give less return, but the liquidity option is the best in this fixed deposit. Someone is having 20 lakhs worth of FD. Even if there is a bank holiday or it is a Sunday or banks are closed, we can break that FD online and use that amount. So for emergency fund, for our near-term requirement, for liquidity, for the fixed income thing, this bank FD is the preferred option. Then the third option is mutual fund. Now, yeah, in terms of taxation also, property is not that favorable. There's a lot of capital gain tax we have to pay. So in terms of liquidity, in terms of transparency, in terms of taxation, and in terms of visibility, mutual fund is the better option. In mutual fund, we start investing a particular amount, and amount gets accumulated to 1 crore. We can even withdraw 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, 5 lakhs. We can withdraw any time. We can withdraw any amount, and the withdrawal process is also very smooth. Not like a property. Property takes a big time to sell, big time to buy. Also, if someone might be having a 3-bedroom hall kitchen apartment and he need only 15 lakhs, he cannot sell 1 bedroom or 1 hall and get 15 lakhs out of it. The property has to be sold as a whole property. But in terms of mutual fund, even partial things are possible. Next option is gold. Again, gold is like a FD. It is most liquid and returns are again not fixed. But irrespective of the returns, irrespective of our age, irrespective of our risk profile, we need to have some gold in our portfolio. Though we don't foresee, but in case of problems like what Zimbabwe was going through, in terms of some other African countries were going through, when nothing of this worked, when the currency is not working or mutual funds are not doing good, property someone is not able to sell, the gold will come to the rescue. Gold is also called as hedge against inflation, though it is not performing that way from last couple of years. But yes, small portion should be there in terms of gold. So we need to have this fixed income, FD and gold as a small portion. Property, only if property is for our own staying or someone is interested in like doing farming or establishing a farm community. Otherwise, as a major investment option, we should consider mutual funds. Also with mutual fund, transit is very much possible. Like someone start accumulating accumulating amount in mutual fund, amount grows to 2 crore, and then he wishes to buy a property. Then this can happen within a week. We can sell that mutual fund and convert it to property. But reverse may not be true. Someone having a property of 2 crore, and if he wish to invest in mutual fund next week, it will take a lot of time. The movement from mutual fund to other 3 asset classes is very much possible. So even like someone is looking for investment in property for his own staying or building a farm community, that can be started through mutual funds. Then there was some question about gold. Prabhuji has told me in the beginning, like what is the best way to invest in gold? Now gold can be invested in a physical gold. Gold can be invested through gold mutual fund. But the best way to buy gold is buying gold through sovereign gold bond. We call it SGB. So buying through SGB or sovereign gold bond is same as buying through mutual fund, but with an additional interest of 2.5%. Let me show this with a small example. Yeah, so someone is buying physical gold. Someone is buying gold through mutual funds. And someone is buying gold through SGB. So physical gold, if someone has bought gold for 1 lakh rupees and price rises, that 1 lakh will become 1,20,000. In mutual fund, same again. In sovereign gold bond also it's same. But along with price appreciation, here they'll be getting 2.5% interest every year extra over and above the appreciation in gold. So like bank FD gives us 5% every year. This sovereign gold bond gives us 2.5% interest every year over and above the appreciation in the price. So this is the best way to buy gold. Only thing is it requires a demat account. So if we are not having a demat account, then we have to open it. This is the only requirement. Rest all things are same. Similar to buying gold in physical form and buying gold through mutual fund, but with the added benefit of 2.5% extra every year. One more thing, people who are staying outside India, this option is not available. Only resident Indian devotees can buy this. Plus no hassles of purity, no hassles of storing it, no hassles of getting lost or getting stolen. So no hassles, and there are 2.5% extra. If you buy physical, then we have to hire a locker, and this locker annual maintenance fee, hassles of going to the bank every time when we have to keep or when we have to withdraw. In SGB, it is very easy.
And physical also, purity is also a questionable.
Yes,
While
purity
selling
is
gold.
again a concern. We may or we may not understand the purity. We buy from one jeweler and sell it to other jeweler. Other jeweler might tell this is 1% impure. So the things are not in our control. Any questions on gold?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Ji, Mataji.
Prabhuji, can you please give in detail SGB bond of gold, Prabhuji?
See, so SGB, it is simple. These are the bonds issued by government. That's why they are called as sovereign. Sovereign means guaranteed by government. It is completely safe, completely guaranteed, and no problem with it. Means the same government which is guaranteeing our currency. Like we have 2000 rupee note, we know that 2000 rupees guaranteed by the government. In the same way, these are issued by government. So there is no question about the authenticity or no risk about government going default. And there's additional returns of this 2.5% every year.
Prabhuji, we can buy this in all the banks, government banks, no?
No, this cannot be bought through bank. For that, we need to have a demat account. This has to be purchased from the market.
Okay. Thank you for the information. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, how to convert this into physical gold? It's required after 10 years of saving. After 10 years of saving, I want to convert this amount to the physical gold to donate, to give to my daughter.
Right. So this can be answered in 2-3 ways. So Prabhuji, we don't know whether our daughters and daughter-in-laws are going to wear this gold going forward. Because every year the trend is changing. We might have some jewelry made by our parents and grandparents. The new generation might find it out of style, out of design, all that kind of thing. So this SGB cannot be converted to physical gold. We have to sell it and purchase a fresh physical gold if we want. For example, someone is investing 5,000 rupees every month and he accumulates gold worth 10 lakhs in 10 years. And suppose the children want the jewelry, then we have to sell this gold bond, get 10 lakhs rupees and we can purchase the jewelry or gold from this 10 lakhs.
Okay, Prabhuji.
So directly it cannot be converted, but we have to sell it and buy a fresh gold at that time.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Ji, Prabhu.
When we sell the SGBs, does it attract any tax or in any shape or form, Prabhu?
No, SGB is completely tax free. Sovereign gold bond is not subject to any tax.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, is SGB is under any lock-in period?
No, see, SGB being tax free, we need to stay invested for 8 years. This SGB comes with a specific maturity period. So if we hold this for next 8 years, 10 years, then there is no tax, but there is no lock-in. If there is emergency and if we sell in between, then the taxation rules are not very clear. But we have to assume that if we sell in between, then the amount will be taxable.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, when we sell, government will buy or other persons, like other things in DMart account?
No, this is purchased by people like us only. Those are freely traded, where we can buy and sell amongst ourselves. But at the end of an 8-year period, at the maturity, government will buy from us, and it is tax free. If there's emergency and if we sell in between, we have to sell to some other person in the market, like shares, and it will be subject to tax.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Study between the mutual funds and this gold, which one personally you would advise, Prabhu?
Sorry, Mataji, please come again.
Gold and the mutual funds, which one would you advise? Growth wise, because anyway we are not seeing the physical form of gold or an ornament.
Correct.
So keeping in mind the appreciation, meeting the inflation between purchase of these gold bonds and then the mutual funds, which one would you advise?
Yeah, so some amount should be in gold and major amount should be in mutual fund. So because gold may or may not rise as per inflation. Okay, so gold can be purchased. If it is for investment, it should be small portion of our portfolio, say 10%. Or if we're buying for specific purpose, like marriage of the children, or so for that we need to buy as per our requirement.
That's right.
Does this solve queries about gold?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So if someone is having specific requirement of gold for future functions, future marriage, then it can be bought according to that requirement. If it is a part of general investment, then it can be a small portion like 5 to 10% of the portfolio. Then the next question might come, how much should be the FD? So FD, it should be equivalent to at least our emergency fund, which is like equivalent to 6 months of our expenses, number one. Number two, whatever amount we have to give to someone in next 1 year, that should also be an FD. And number three, if both these things are met, then of the remaining portion, it should be between say 5 to 20%, depending on the age and risk profile. So what are the characteristics of investment in mutual fund? First and foremost is convenience. We need not go in the market, and there's an advisor who advises you. We need not go into details which fund is doing good, which scheme is doing good. We are not worried about purity. Historically, from last 40 years, it has compulsorily beats the inflation, not only in India, but even worldwide. Returns are highest among all asset class. Investments are managed by experts. There is something called as fund managers who manages our funds. Then the tax rate is the least among the industry. Like mutual funds are taxed at the rate 10%. We know income tax is 30%. capital gain tax is 20% and so on. But the mutual funds are taxed at the rate 10%. There is no lock-in. We can invest any amount and we can withdraw it anytime. Then it helps us for diversification. Like someone who is invested in real estate, we're investing only one asset class. But someone who is investing in mutual fund, even he has invested only in one mutual fund, that one mutual fund will be having exposure to different sectors. It might have some companies of technology companies, some companies of real estate, some companies of banks, some manufacturing companies, and so on. It is most transparent instrument available and is the most cost friendly. Now, when I say transparent, we come to know the exact value of mutual funds on any given day, up to paisa level. Like someone who is having investment, he will come to know his portfolio is 1 crore 35 lakhs 36,000. In terms of real estate, we may not know the real cost or real price till the time we sell it. We might feel that my 3-bedroom apartment might fetch us 1 crore. When we go for selling, we might get 1.2 crore also, and we may not get even 80 lakhs, depending on the market condition. But in mutual fund, we know the value up to rupees level. So this mutual fund also invest in different FDs, different bonds, different kind of gold instrument, and different stocks. So there is something called as fund manager who manages our funds. But say we are investing in mutual fund, aren't they risky? What do you think? What is devotee's idea about risk of investing in mutual fund? Can please few devotees share what is their idea about risk? If you invest
like gambling, sir.
what
Like
can happen?
gambling.
Mutual fund is gambling, okay?
We might not
Sir.
necessarily get the price at the time when we want to liquidate it. The market might not be at
Get
its
the
peak.
amount when we want it. Okay.
It's about
Can we have one devotee at a time so that we are able to understand properly?
it's worry about the market fluctuations.
It's not in any control. I personally feel that is the only risk we have in this.
Yeah.
Okay. One is market condition, and fourth one control. What did you say, Mataji?
No. I only said the mutual funds are subject to market risk. Other than that, I do not see anything other.
Yes. Okay. Mutual funds are subject to market risk. Okay.
There are so many mutual funds. Where to invest? Also, it's like a question.
Sorry, come again.
So many mutual funds are there. Where to invest is a question. Some
Okay.
mutuals.
How to choose a mutual fund? Okay.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Anything else? Anyone is having any positive opinion about mutual funds?
The kind of mutual funds, I think there are various kinds of mutual funds are available.
Right.
I think each mutual fund will cater to a certain kind of a people.
Correct.
They can invest in that one. So we may require what is the type of mutual fund which caters the needs of the certain group of people, and what is the minimum period so that you can get a studied return in that one. So generally say that mutual fund, I think you should have a patience there so that you can get a good return. Actually, generally mutual fund you cannot expect a return within a year or so. So you have to spend time. You have to give a time for investment so that it will yield a sufficient return which may expect.
Correct. So this also come under how to invest in mutual fund, right?
Yeah.
And type. Yeah.
Totally agree to that.
Yeah. So let's see. We'll try to answer all these things. Now in mutual fund, there are various categories. Now, as Prabhuji rightly said, we need to invest depending on our requirement, depending on our temperament, depending on our risk profile. So someone who is investing in liquid fund or debt fund, there is no risk involved. Those are not subject to market condition. Those are not subject to market risk. Those are like, we can say, similar, not exactly, but similar to FDs. And there are funds which are called balance fund, index fund, equity funds. Those are completely dependent on how the market works or how the market goes. Then someone has told that we may not get the money when we want. So now SEBI has made it mandatory that after the redemption, between 1 to 3 days, we'll get the amount back in our bank. So there is no choice involved. If it is a debt fund, there's a particular kind of fund which if we redeem or if we sell it today, tomorrow compulsorily we get the amount back in our account. And there are something called as equity funds, where if we sell it on Monday, by Thursday we get the amount back in our bank account. So there is no uncertainty about time. Between 1 to 3 days, we compulsorily get the amount back in our account. Except for few funds which invest in international equity, where it takes 7 days. But other than international equity funds, all funds come out we get in 1 to 3 days. Then going back to the remaining questions. Okay. Then someone has said it is a gambling. Okay. So mutual fund, as per like we have checked with the senior devotees, we have checked with the sannyasis, we have checked with the devotees who are into this from last 20-30 years. So trading or speculating in stocks, or trading or speculating in cryptocurrency, or trading or speculating in currency derivatives or commodity derivatives, that comes under gambling. When you talk about mutual funds, it is similar to having any other investment like in gold or real estate. If you're having a time and patience of 3 years plus, then it doesn't at all come under gambling category. It doesn't come at all under speculation category. If it is stocks and if it is intraday, then only it comes under gambling or speculation category. Even as per income tax guideline, someone who is doing intraday trading or derivative, that will come under speculation and he'll be taxed accordingly. But when someone is investing in mutual fund for long term, then that doesn't come under speculation or gambling. So gambling we covered, liquidity we covered. Yes, the returns are completely subject to market. Here in mutual fund, there is nothing is guaranteed. Like not even 5% is guaranteed, not even 1% is guaranteed. But yes, what people have got returns in last 10, 15, 20 years, those are 12, 15, 18, 20% plus. So why should we invest? Bank gives us 5%, but it gives guaranteed. Then why we should invest in mutual fund? Would someone like to share his thoughts? If it is risky, if the returns are not guaranteed, then why we should invest in mutual fund?
I personally feel even if the risk is there, it certainly manages the kind of interest rates that mutual fund offers, Prabhu. Compared to the low interest bank had been giving all these days, it is still worth taking it, I personally feel. Even if it is not 12%, 14%, 18%, it will still balance. That's my limited knowledge opinion.
Right. So what I would like to put in different words, the mutual funds, the returns are not fixed. It has never happened that someone invested 1 crore rupees in 10 different mutual funds, and those 10 mutual funds had run away with the amount and he hasn't got any amount. So we have to differentiate between the fixed return and uncertain returns. So in mutual fund, the returns are uncertain. Someone has done a study that anyone has invested any point of the time and he has stayed invested for 7 years, he hasn't lost a single rupee. So someone has invested in the market, say in the year 78 and withdrawn at 85. Someone invested in 79 and withdrawn at 86. Or someone invested in 2001 and withdrawn at 2008. So someone has invested in the market for 7 years and he hasn't lost a single rupee. So we have to understand to segregate between uncertain returns and the fixed return. See, when we invest in a bank FD, we get 5% fixed return. Even in bank, if someone is investing 2 crore, something might happen to the bank and that 2 crore is not guaranteed. There are many banks which has gone into default and RBI has come to their rescue, and then after a lot of time, people have got their money back. So generally we associate uncertainty with risk. Okay, let me repeat. Generally we associate uncertainty with risk. If the returns are uncertain or returns are not fixed, that doesn't mean the amount is risky. So it is close to impossible that someone has invested 1 crore rupees in 10 different mutual funds, and that whole 1 crore has become zero. Now, what uncertainty here is, he might get 10% returns in 1 year, or it might be minus 10% in first year. But if he stays invested for longer time, it is almost fixed that he will be getting a positive return. Now, how much he will be getting, that is subject to market condition. And our experience says that this mutual fund returns are depending on the economy, depending on how country is running. Because ultimately mutual fund are investing in companies, and this company's performance will drive the price of those company shares, and that will drive the price of mutual fund. So as far as we are seeing that we as a country are doing good, we should not worry about returns. So forget that 1 crore will become zero. This 1 crore returns will be between, there can be a simple formula. Right now, GDP growth rate is 7% and inflation is 6%. It is very likely that next 10 years returns will be GDP growth rate plus inflation. So GDP growth rate is nothing but at what rate our economy is growing, and mutual fund will be able to give those returns plus inflation comfortably. So past 15, 20, 30 years returns are between 12, 15, 18%. But if we assume 10 to 12% return, that should not be a big problem to get. So we have to understand the difference between risk and not fixed return. So in mutual fund, the returns are not fixed. It can be between particular percentage. Am I clear about this point, or there is some further question?
Yeah. What we understand is that return is guaranteed. I think the risk is there, but it's a minimal. And if you invest in mutual fund, the return is guaranteed. It varies. It varies with the period and the kind of investment you make, the kind of mutual fund you choose. Am I clear?
Yeah, but wordings we have to choose very little carefully. The returns, how much returns we are going to get is not guaranteed. But this amount is invested in different shares, and this amount is audited. This mutual fund company's accounts are audited by SEBI, and it works under proper rules and regulation. So it will not happen that someone invested 1 crore and somebody took away that 1 crore rupees and he is not getting anything back. So that kind of risk is definitely not there. But this 1 crore rupees invested in different companies. So sometimes the market might be up, sometimes market might be low. So there cannot be a fixed guaranteed return. You will get definitely 15%. That is not possible. But when we stay invested for 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, then getting those positive returns can be very very likely. But as a law, we cannot say it is guaranteed. Any further thoughts or questions on this?
We can move forward.
Yep. So there are different kind of funds for different kind of requirements, and we can choose according to the risk profile of the devotee. That is now how we should invest. Somebody might have 50 lakhs rupees to invest. Someone's monthly saving might be 50,000. If someone is having a monthly amount available, like his salary is 1 lakh and his expenses are 40,000, then if he is having 60,000 surplus every month, so that can be invested in a mutual fund on monthly basis, and this phenomenon is called as systematic investment plan. So how to do this SIP? So we can choose any fixed date of our month. Like we can invest say 50,000 rupees on 1st of every month, or 9th of every month, or 7th of every month. And so how long we have to stay invested? There is no fixed period. We can stop this anytime. It's not like LIC. LIC plans are for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. There, if we stop in between, there might be some cost involved. But in terms of SIP, it is completely flexible. For good returns, we need to stay invested. We need to invest continuously for 15 years. But if there is some requirement or some emergency, we can stop it anytime. And there are no charge or cost involved or penalties involved for stopping the SIP. Plus, there is an option We can stop SIP and withdraw the amount what is accumulated, or we can only stop SIP and continue with the amount. Plus, there is no restriction of amount. You got devotees investing from 10,000 rupees per month to even 10 lakhs rupees per month. So it is up to us how much we need to invest. Not only that, whatever amount we start with, this can be changed anytime. Someone might start with 50,000 and he wish to increase it to 2.5 lakh, or he wish to decrease it to 10,000 is possible. Yes, now this will answer our that market condition, and market goes up and down. So this is an example for someone who is investing 10,000 rupees per month. So if it happened to be in 1999, in the first year the returns were 56%. In the second year returns were -5%. In the third year the returns were -5% again. But in the sixth year the returns were +18%. So this was the worst period of the market. Means people who are into investment, they'll be able to relate with me. There's something called as .com bubble. So 99, 2000 was the worst period to invest. Even someone who has invested started before that, he has got a positive returns of 18% plus. So this way market goes up and down, but we stay invested for longer period. Even in the worst period, we can get the good positive returns.
Prabhuji, I'm having a doubt. That's because when the market is down, it's better to invest more, I think, no? Because you will get a more units, I think.
Yes, definitely. So the basic thing is we have to start investment. And once we start investment, your advisor, then they will guide you that when market is down, we need to invest more and move from one fund to another. So this will be your financial advisor job.
Yeah. Even I believe in that when the market is down to invest.
Yes. So when market is down, we need to go into the reason why market is down. Say market is down due to some political result, then we know that it is a short-term thing. The market is down due to something happened outside India, like war between Ukraine and Russia. Now we know it is going to affect every country, but we may not be impacted directly by it. So this can be the good time to invest more. But if market is down due to something like, say, our own country is going to recession in a big way, that time we need to be a little careful, because that phenomena might last for longer time. We might be directly involved with it. So that time we have to be a little patient in the incremental investment. We may not invest full amount at one go. We might have to divide that amount in 3-4 installment and then invest. But you as a devotee or you as a client, you need to have a little understanding about it. You may not be expert into it.
Yeah.
This is the job of your advisor, how to choose scheme, which fund to choose, when to enter into it, when to change it, when to review the portfolio. All those things are specialized job. This cannot happen in a part-time way. Because you all must be having your own primary engagement. Someone might be into IT, someone might be into farming, someone into some other engagement at different temples. So this managing this Lakshmi is a full-time job. We cannot do it like, let me work for 1 hour daily and then I will do it. It may or may not work. So this will be your advisor job to guide you and to assist in all these things.
Prabhuji, if one mutual fund time limit is 3 years, after 3 years I can draw full amount, or is there some only 50% amount like that condition is there?
Yeah, so there's no condition. The lock-in is even not for 3 years. For getting good returns, we need to stay invested for 3-4 years. But suppose someone invested 50 lakhs today on 26th of November, and after a month he is getting opportunity to buy some farmland at a very good rate. Someone land which is available for 1 crore is getting for 50 lakhs due to whatever reason. Then he can withdraw that amount even after 1 month. There's no compulsion to wait for 3 years, 5 years. So there is no lock-in. The full amount can be withdrawn at any point of time. Plus, there is no rule about how much amount need to be withdrawn. Someone is having 50 lakhs, he can withdraw between 500 to 50 lakhs any amount. There are no charges involved. Someone might choose to withdraw 2000 rupees every day. no problem. Everything is online. There are no efforts involved, nothing. We can withdraw whatever amount we want at whatever frequency.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
And it's an online procedure. So it's not
Yes.
you have to fill a form and go to a bank and stand in a queue. Then they'll verify your signature. And then after 5 days, amount will come. It's not like that. The complete procedure is online.
Okay.
That's why most of the amount is in mutual fund. Anyone having any idea how much might be the amount invested in mutual funds? Any wild guess? What is the total amount invested in only Indian mutual funds? Any answers? Any guess? See, guess itself is it's a not so
Yeah,
correct.
it's a lakhs of crores, I think.
Substantial amount, but we are not too sure.
Yeah, it's correct. The answer is very near. It is 36 lakhs crore approximately. So 36 lakhs and crores, all is coming together. It's not only 1,000 crore or 5,000 crore or 10,000 crore or 1 lakh crore. It is 36 lakhs crore is the amount invested in Indian mutual fund industry. Not only individuals, the bigger companies who can directly invest in land or who can directly invest in gold, their maximum amount is in mutual funds. For all those reasons, transparency, tax-friendly, liquidity, diversification, ease of investment. Even the big companies, they got some treasury amount which is free with them. The maximum portion of it is in mutual funds. And this SIP or this mutual fund investment can be a very good way to build a corpus. Even a small amount, if someone has just started earning, his age is 22, 23, even if you start with a small amount of 5,000 rupees, if invested for 30 years, that can grow into 1.5 crores. So this is the magic, this time frame. If the for higher the time frame we keep invested, the amount becomes bigger and bigger. And see here the returns. If due to our proper management and proper research, if we are able to increase the returns by only 3%, so with 12%, the amount is 1.5 crore. If instead of 12, you are able to generate 15, 1.5 doesn't become 1.7, it becomes 2.8 crore. Then for some devotees who might be retired, for them there is something called a systematic transfer plan. So someone might be having 1 crore rupees, and we feel that market is market is not at lower level. Then we can have this systematic transfer plan, where this 1 crore can be kept in a debt fund, and at specific interval that can move into equity fund. So it is similar to SIP. In SIP, that amount was coming from bank. Yeah, the SIP, the amount was coming from bank into equity mutual fund. In STP, it comes from a debt fund to equity mutual fund. So the process is similar, returns are similar. We all know this, so I just run ahead. Illustration of SIP, yes. FD versus STP is okay. Yeah, there's a small chart. If someone has invested, say 10 lakhs rupees in a FD, that amount grows to 54 lakhs in 25 years. But if he does a STP, means he is not investing that 10 lakhs rupees in equity fund, but that 10 lakhs rupees ka only interest is going into equity fund, that amount can become 1 crore. So he's not taking any market risk. See, even if we take risk, we know that in 3-4 years we can get a good returns. But if someone is willing for a small portion, he don't wish to take any risk. He is having 1 crore rupees or say 10 lakhs rupees, and only returns he wish to invest. Even that can grow to 1 crore in next 25 years. In the bank FD, it will be 54 lakhs. Then for retired devotees again, this SWP, this systematic withdrawal plan, this is completely opposite of SIP. So in our earning period, when we are earning amount, we should invest the savings in form of SIP. Means someone's income is 1 lakh, his expenses say 50,000. So 50,000 per month is investing in SIP way. And once that corpus is built, by investing for 15 years, that amount becomes 5 crore. Then he will stop working. He will not be getting a salary. So at that time, this 5 crore can generate 5 lakhs rupees per month or 4 lakhs rupees per month, depending on his requirement. And that can come to our bank as a salary. So it's called a systematic withdrawal plan. So one was systematic investment plan. This is a systematic withdrawal plan. Any questions so far? Then we'll move to next section.
Systematic, Prabhuji, in systematic withdrawal plan, can we start with the day one from the investment, or shall we wait for 1 year or so and then you switch on to SWP?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Generally, we should start after 3 years. Technically, it is possible from first month. But once we invested, we should give us some time to grow, and then we start withdrawing. It should be from at least between 1 to 3 years down the time when we had invested. But if you are having immediate requirement, you can keep some amount for immediate requirement and start withdrawing after 1 to 3 years. That's a preferred way.
Or it is better that whatever the return we are getting, that is put it in SIP, Prabhuji? Will it be? Suppose you start with some investment with SWP, and the return we are getting it, you put it into SIP.
It is we can do that, but if we don't need the income, then it is preferred that we keep it there only. It's like keeping amount, moving the money from our one pocket to another pocket. So one option is we keep in a fund and let it grow. Another option is we keep in a fund, whatever the application, through STP we transfer to another fund, or through we take it in bank and do SIP. It's one and the same thing. Both put together is same.
Okay. So the difference is there will not be any difference as such. I think if it's keep it better to continue in SWP.
Correct.
For certain and once you have a sufficient return in that SWP, you may say that 1 year or up to 3 years. So then whatever the return you are planning it, that is what are the accrual you are having it in your investment, so that your capital will be safe. That's what you mean to say.
Yes, see, we should think only about returns. Once we invested in a good mutual fund, and as far as the economy is growing and the mutual fund is properly diversified, the capital going away ka chances are very, 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 very remote.
Yeah.
That also like the time our economy is growing, we should not worry about the capital.
Nice.
If we come into a situation where the GDP growth rate is -7%, next week is -5%, we are not growing at all, then economy is not good and mutual fund may not do good. At the time we as a country are growing, we should not worry about capital. We should think about how much returns we are getting.
Yeah. And putting a lump sum in one SWP is better, or putting it in different mutual funds? That is, choosing with the options.
It should be always more than one mutual fund. It should not be only one mutual fund or one mutual fund company or different schemes. It should be diversified. Whatever good may a particular company. Those companies also go through cycles. Some company might do good now, some company might do good after 1 year. So we have to diversify in at least 4 or 5 different mutual fund companies.
Okay. Can you suggest what is the minimum investment, so that you can get a quantified return? I think.
See, it depends on a requirement. Someone whose monthly expenses are 1 lakh, for him investing 1 lakh may not yield him anything.
Yeah.
Someone might be a bachelor right now, he has just started working. For him, the minimum investment will be different. So technically, there is no minimum investment, but it depends on our income, savings, and our requirement. Someone who might be staying outside India, his monthly expense itself is 2 lakhs. For him, if he get 5,000 per month, it will not matter. So there is no minimum, maximum. It is subject to requirement, availability of funds, and our risk profile and other things.
Okay.
It will be very different for different people. Means we have our maid who is investing 500 rupees per month.
Okay. So for retiree people, I think out of the three, SIP, STP, and SWP, SWP is a better option.
Yes,
And considering your, seeing your requirements, I think you put a sizable amount so that you will quantify the return, and that return also you have to take it as a minimum 3 years. After 3 years, so that that will be better off, I think, when compared to the present circumstances.
Correct. See, as compared to real estate, as compared to gold, as compared to bank FD, mutual funds are definitely going to give us better risk-adjusted returns, better liquidity-adjusted returns, better tax-adjusted return. See, someone who is 70 years of old, after 5-6 years will be 75, 76. How will manage the properties? And someone who is 65, 70 years of age, bank is giving us 6%, 5.5%. What if tomorrow inflation further rise? There is a possibility that after 5-10 years, his whole amount is finished. Then he'll be dependent on his children, dependent on his relative, or he has to adjust in his lifestyle. See, we spend so much time and energy in doing things. So after retirement, we should be free. We should be able to do whatever we want. We should be able to serve devotees. We should be able to serve Krishna in whatever way we want without any compromise. We should be able to take care of our family without any compromise. So this objectives may or may not be fulfilled by FDs, may or may not be fulfilled by gold, may or may not be fulfilled by property. See, if at the age 76, if the tenant has left or tenant is not ready to vacate the property, it rather than amount, that headache, that anxiety becomes bigger.
Yes.
How we are going to manage that? So till the time we are working, all options are open. But once we retire, then we should, of course, if someone desires to work in a farm community, then it is fine. Then that is not an investment. That is our primary activity. That's fine. But purely from returns point of view, investment point of view, real estate should be minimum after we retire. Because rental yield doesn't increase as per a requirement. Someone expenses might be 20,000 20 years back, and today's expenses might be 2 lakhs. After 20 years, that 2 lakhs will become 10 lakhs per month ka expenses. Now 10 lakhs per month, not even 5 properties are going to give us after 10 years. Impossible. And the hassles are different again.
That's probably. Thank you.
Okay. How many of you know swimming?
I know, sir. I know swimming.
So how is swimming? It's easy or difficult?
Before learning, at the time of learning is very difficult.
Perfect.
Once you know, no, it's very easy. You don't, very easy.
Yes. And someone who doesn't know swimming, if he has to experience how swimming is, just go into 6 feet pool, 6 feet height wala pool. Just go into the water and see. It is very, very, very tough. But once we learn it is very easy. So same is with mutual fund, same is it with investment. If we invest in a proper guidance and we stay invested for 4-5 years, then going through all ups and downs become very easy. See, the equity market is always like this. It will be going up, going down, going up, going down. But till the time our economy is growing, it will go up only.
Phone chesaru.
Mr. Shampoo, can you help me understand what was the question?
No, he's not asking question. He got some phone call. Yeah.
See.
I just muted him.
Yes. So equity investment is similar. Achha, then the next question comes: what if I need money after 20 years? What if in that particular year only market goes down? Then generally we plan in advance. Someone investing in today, and if he needs money here, we start that process 2-3 years in advance. Today only I was speaking to one of my friends, and he has told me a very wonderful thing. Let me read it out for you. That friend of mine was talking to a client, and the client was telling, Prabhuji, why we should invest right now? There's a war. So he has listed me, he has sent me, just a second, let me show it to you on this. To the more. Yes, so 14 years back, there was US financial crisis. 12 years back in 2008-9, there were high inflation and high interest rate. 11 years back, there was US downgrade, there was Fed tapering. 9 years back, there was rupee depreciation. 7 years ago, there was poor monsoon. Then 6 years back, there was Brexit. 5 years back, there was demonetization. 4 years back, GST was introduced. 3 years back, PNB scam came into the picture. Different banks have defaulted, different corporates have defaulted. 2 years ago, we all went through this COVID. 1 year back, there was second wave of this deadly COVID. Last year and this year, there was Ukraine war, US recession and interest rate. Tomorrow, something else might come. Next year, again, something else might come. But even in this period, our market, our Indian market has went from 8,000 to 62,000 in last 14 years. Despite of all these events, our market moved from 8,000 to 62,000. So this faith, patience and discipline, let me repeat this, faith, patience and disciplines are the secrets of investing. Today also many people call me and tell if they have read somewhere US is going into recession, they have read somewhere that mutual fund industry will go down, they have read somewhere the inflation will rise. These things keep on happening in the background. But as far as our economy is growing, our mutual fund will perform and will give us the good returns. So we should not worry about this noise. Just like when we do sadhana, we should continue following what Guru Maharaj has told us. We should continue following what our Guru Parampara is telling us. There'll be many things. Someone will tell this is doing good, that is doing good, this is going bad, that is going bad. But as far as we follow our procedure correctly, these things are not going to affect us. In the same way, once we start investing, we should continue the investment with our goal. There's outside noise. Some news channel will say something else. Some newspaper will tell something else. Our friend will tell something else. So we have to ignore all this thing and continue with our journey. 1 second. Then the last portion of our presentation. Probably any questions so far?
Anybody else got questions, please?
Guruji, can I just jump the topic and just ask one question, Guruji, with your permission?
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
one sec. We'll just finish our this topic and then maybe extra questions we can take.
Sure, sure.
So for retirees, like we need to understand the risk is not we leaving the body early. The risk is we staying in this body for longer period. Especially with devotees, their lifestyle, their regulated lifestyle and controlled lifestyle. Due to Krishna's mercy, we are going to live a long life. So we have to provide for even we have to provide for all those things. We need to continue with our medical insurance. If medical insurance costs are going to increase with the age. So at no point of time we should think that now this cost is too much and let me discontinue it. We need to continue with our medical insurance. As I said, medical insurance is the insurance of our savings. If we discontinue the medical insurance, something happens to us, for 10 lakh, 20 lakh things will go in a year. interest rate may go down drastically. Like we know the interest rate 12%, 13%, 15, 20 years back. Now interest rates are 5%, 6%. After 20 years, interest rate may not be even 2%, 3%. So we have to be careful. Even the retirees, they need to invest a part of amount in long term. Someone who is age 60, they need to invest a portion of it for long term, because we might live up to 70, 80, 90, we don't know. For monthly expenses, we need to have this SWP. And the last portion of my presentation, just a sec. This my screen is visible, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So we talked about protection. It's like emergency fund, term plan, health insurance. We talked about investments, mutual fund, gold, fixed deposits, real estate. Now the most important part is this. Once we accumulated the amount or once we are investing, then these are 3-4 most important points. In all our investments, in all our bank accounts, in all our insurance plan, in all our constructed property, our all data should be up to date. So I humbly beg all devotees just to check in all their bank accounts and investment where all data is up to date. Means whether their name is correctly spelled, their present address is updated, whether their date of birth mentioned is correct, their PAN number mentioned is correct or not, their email address, their mobile number is correct or not. So all these things are very important. Second most important thing is they should have nomination compulsory in everything. We have seen many people, we have seen many devotees who left their body on an untimely basis and they were not having nomination. So it becomes a big hassle for the family. See, for a financial advisor like me, it's my job. I will assist you to get the asset transferred from your husband or parents' name to you. But if the nomination is there, then it will save a lot of time and efforts. There was an example where one of the devotee was having 20 lakhs rupees in bank account, but there was no nomination. So they have to wait till the time they go to a court, take a succession certificate, and then that amount can be transferred to the wife's name. If the nomination is there, then the procedure is very simple. Same with mutual funds. If there is a nomination, the mutual funds can be easily transferred to the family's name. But if the nomination is not there, the hassles are much bigger. There are a lot of costs are involved, a lot of efforts are involved, and it takes much more time than if the nomination is there. So all of you, please ensure that whatever investment you are having, whether it is a bank account, a fixed deposits, mutual fund, insurance, the nomination should be up to date. Then in some cases, nomination is in the name of the parents. Someone might have opened a bank account when his age was 25 and the nomination is still lying with parents. Now their age might be 50, 55, 60. So if nomination is the parents, that may not help. That is as good as not having a nomination. Because generally we are going to outlive our parents and our children are going to outlive us. So this nomination should be successive. Like when we are bachelor, the nomination can be in parents' name. When we get married, then it should be joint nomination between parents and wife or spouse. When children grows, when children attain age of 10 years, 15 years, the nomination should be between wife and children. When we grow up to the age of 65, 70, the nomination should be completely with children. So that's why in this way, the nomination should be successively updated. If someone age is 70 and nomination is in parents' name, that may not help. So this is about nomination. Then third and most important point is having asset register. How many of you are here who are having insurance plan and they remember their insurance ka policy number? Is there anyone?
Yes, we do, including the car registrations. We have the register.
Yeah. So we need to have a notebook or we need to have a register where our all bank account should be mentioned. How many of you remember your bank account numbers? Anyone there?
Nowadays everyone is online, sir.
Generally, we remember last 3 digits, Prabhuji. Generally,
Yes.
because last 3 digits only, last
Sir,
3 to 5. Because
in IT
generally,
returns, sir, it should be mentioned all things, sir. In IT returns.
Okay, so you probably you remember your last 3 digits. Does is there Mataji part of this program right now?
yeah.
So does Mataji remembers the last 3 digits of your bank number?
Certainly not.
Certainly not. Yes. And how many bank accounts you are having, Prabhu?
Passwords, but we don't know the bank account.
Yeah.
Prabhu, how many bank accounts you are having?
So right now, two.
Mataji knows both account numbers. Very unlikely.
Oh, no, not.
How many mutual funds you are having?
Not. I'm just where to start. Prabhuji.
Okay. Now, what I mean to say, we have seen cases. There has been recently a news article where 50,000 crore worth of assets are unclaimed. 50,000 crore. So we are having many bank accounts, we are having many investment, we are having term plan, we are having health insurance. That all data is somewhere written, or policy document might be lying here or there. Someone might be having a term plan of 2 crore taken 10 years back. It's possible that we may not have told to our wife. It's possible that family may not be aware of. 10 years, 20 years down the line, we leave the body. There's a 50% chance that family may not find that document, or 50% chance that family may not remember that my husband was having a term plan. So in that case, there's a loss of that 2 crore rupees. Someone might be having an investment, 5 lakhs rupees invested in particular mutual fund, and he has changed the address. And due to whatever thing, they have forgot that investment. And if something happens to us, there is no way our family will come to know that my father or my husband has done this investment 10 years back. Let me find out where it is. Or in many cases, our all data might be lying on our laptop, or it might be lying in our Gmail account. Correct?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
And after us, company might take away the laptop, or my family may not be able to log in into my Gmail account. So all that information is lost. So to protect or to transfer our proper hard-earned money to the rightful owner, means our parents, our wife, our children, we need to have the physical listing of it. So I need to have this one asset register where I should mention all my bank account numbers. These are the 5 bank accounts I am having. These are the 7 mutual funds I am having. These are the 3 properties I am having. This is the 1 term plan and 2 other life insurance policies I am having. These are their numbers. This is the health insurance of 20 lakhs I am having. And plus, along with that, we need to have a name and number of a concerned person. See, I am having a term plan of 5 crore and something happens to me. First of all, my family should know that I am having a term plan.
Yeah.
They should know the policy number. And they should know from whom I have purchased it. So that my wife can go to that person and ask for the assistance to get that 5 crore rupees. Otherwise, she has to visit 10 different offices. She has to claim that policy document, or she has to find that policy number. It becomes a big hassle. Imagine a situation where someone has lost the most important person of their life. So they are into that mood and mindset, and then they have to struggle for their day-to-day living. And within that struggle, they have to go to 10 different offices to get what belongs to them. So if proper data is up to date, proper nomination is mentioned, and proper information is mentioned in a register, it becomes very easy for them to get what they deserve.
Yeah.
Generally, our data lies in some Excel sheet, and that Excel sheet lies somewhere on our desktop or laptop. We ourselves are not able to find that file on time. And if we expect that after us, our children or wife will log into our account and they will be knowing where that Excel sheet is, they will open and get hold of everything, it's not going to happen. So we need to have a physical listing of this asset register where we need to note down all the things and keep it in a locker, keep it in a place where we keep property documents and everything. So that if something happens to us, family can access it and get everything transferred to their name. There has been a recent case 2 years back where a devotee family, devotee husband and wife, both met with an accident and both were unconscious for 3 days. Now, fortunately, they were having this asset register and we were in touch. So we can get hold that they are having an insurance policy and this is the company and this is the policy number. So we can focus on their care rather than worrying about the amount. So only we knowing or our wife knowing is not sufficient. There might be unfortunate incidents where husband and wife both leaving the body at the same time. So where will children go? How they will understand what all things are there in their parents' name? So in such cases, asset register will come to the rescue, and we need to prepare this asset register, keep in a locker, and our 2-3 near and dear one should know this. Like our brother, sister, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, they should know that there is something called asset register where there is, and you need not write any password. So there is no concern of safety. You need not write your net banking password. You need not write your credit card PIN in that notebook. It should just contain the name of all banks where you are having account, their account numbers, name of all insurance policies and their policy number. Even these names are good enough. Something happens to us, our family can access those numbers and they can get hold of all those assets. We have some small format made for this. Register Shambro, you can please let me know how many devotees have attended this session. I can send that format to you physically. So you can use that format and note down all this information.
Yeah, probably actually many devotees want to know all these things, but little problem with the language. So I recorded all the session. So once again, we'll be having the same session with the translation and question answers. So maybe we'll put down the questions to you, and people may approach you after this session also.
Sure,
so
bro.
that way we're going to make it clear for everybody. So the question is that maybe 70-80 people want to join today, but because of the language problem, very few join.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yes, bro. So this was the last part of my presentation, and this is the most important part. We need to have all our data up to date. We need to have nomination in all our investment, and we need to have asset register. And when these 3 things are done, then we can consider having a will, where we can mention everything properly, and it can go to our family member in a proper way.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, what you said was absolutely right. In fact, when I was asking whether I can jump and then go on to that, was exactly this is what it is. As a family, what we have done is we have taken record book of what my family should know. Because I'm absolutely zero, my husband is always worried what I will do. So we have got this, Parsi has prepared it. I'm in Bombay. So we have distributed to all our family, friends, and everybody liked it. In addition to that, with your permission, I would also say, in addition to what you have said that you have to mention the nomination and other things, we also went to the extent of just making a sketchy will, because both of us keep traveling in different destinations. So one in my name, one in, should I go first, what he has to do, should he go first, what I have to do, if both of us go, what family should do. Even that we have done. I don't know whether we thought too far imagination, but we did that.
Madhuri, last part I could not hear. Can you be a little more louder? The voice was a little low.
I said we have even gone to the extent of,
Still not clear. Sorry.
I said, apart from record book of what my family should know, we have also gone to the extent of keeping the sketchy will with us actually. Can you hear me, Prabhu?
Yes, now I can. Please go ahead.
I said even a will we have made it and kept it. Whether you advise that also, I'm not too sure.
Yeah. See, this is the minimum basic thing. The more things we include, it might take 1 hour, 2 hours to note down those things, but that can save hundreds and thousand hours of our near and dear ones when required. But whatever I told, this is the minimum basic thing we should do.
Absolutely. We have a dear family friend who is a trauma specialist, one of the top surgeons in the country.
Okay.
He had been offered several awards. He is in Bombay, and his wife suffered. All her family doctors, 3 children and 2 husband and wife. Then what happened is the wife died due to blood cancer, and the Dr. Rohandia, all of a sudden, when he was about to perform a surgery last month, 2 months back, he passed away due to cardiac arrest. And unfortunately, children did not know where the properties are. And in fact, we used to ask, where are these? Where is this? She says, oh, auntie, you know, at least we don't know. So the family is totally left in lurch.
Yep. Very true, very true. So that's what we are telling. This is the minimum basic compulsory thing. See, all other thing we are discussing three portions. One was the emergency fund, life insurance, and health insurance. Second was investment, and the third was this thing: nomination, up-to-date details, and asset register. I will put it in a reverse sequence. This third portion is most important. Then second most important is first portion. Second portion, investment, is for the well-being. It's for the, you can say, increase in standard or the ease of future life.
Yes.
But without this first and third, our life might become miserable in material terms. So these are the must thing. Second portion is optional. If you do it today or if you do it 1 year down the line, it will not be life and death kind of thing. But first and third portion, we don't have choice. If you have to take two takeaway, you can please take these two things and absolutely implement this.
Definitely, Prabhu, because in an official capacity, we ensure that the death stock register is maintained physically, and every month I used to verify whether it's updated or not. But I'm failed to maintain the asset register or personal asset register so far. But official capacity, we ensured everything because that's a must. Because we used to maintain a death stock register has to be maintained in physical form only. There also, there you have to write what are the things you've been purchased, when it's purchased, what is the value and life of those certain names and numbers and everything now. But so the input you given here, I think so far what we are not doing, I think it's a must have for everybody to maintain asset register. Whatever the little asset, whatever the details they have to put it in such a place.
Yes.
Naturally, generally, we never feel that importance to that one. We feel that each and both we know each other, and both may be because nowadays in technology, I think we know put it in internet and everything is available there. I think, as you said, I think once the system goes out of that one, both are, if it's not there, I think because the finding, it's very difficult to know the other people even for the children to know the details of the investments and what are the other things also. So it's better to put in a physical register and keep it and make aware of your near and dear ones where it is there. That's absolutely fine. It's a very simple but very nice idea, Prabhu.
It can save thousands of hours of your family in future, thousands of hours. And even after putting 1,000 time efforts, family may not be able to get all the details. Say like your laptop, once laptop is gone to the company, they are going to write it off. They're going to reformat it. There's no way you can get that data. Once your Gmail account is blocked or Gmail account access is blocked, there's no helpline number. It's gone means gone. If you're not able to reset the password, it is gone completely.
Yes.
So there are, and we all do this thing in our professional life. Someone who you might be in business, someone you might be in job. We do all this thing for our corporate, for our company. But when it comes to personal finance, it's the most neglected thing.
Yes. And
but
it's a good idea, especially most of the times.
I do come across the day-to-day basis, because I'm into the the social security. Because people come for because the breadwinner has been lost. I think children or widow will come for us the benefit. They may not be knowing the details of the person. So we do come across these cases every day and every other day. But I never that whether I am doing it or not. So we have to do.
Yeah, and this asset register has to be updated once in a year at least. Monthly may not be possible. So we have to give the achievable targets. So you can decide maybe every Kartik or every New Year or every 31st December, 1st January, or
otherwise when a new edition comes, I think that will be you can update. I think whenever any new edition comes in that one, so you need to update it. So that will be fine. I think so.
One more thing, Sudhakar Prabhu, what we have done personally is we are covered by so many insurance policies. And most of them are cashless. The family should know our insurance company and the policy number that we have pasted in the drawing room and the bedroom cupboard, so that in case of an emergency, at least they will know that they can inform. Is it right, Prabhu? What we have done is right?
You should have a policy number plus the name of your advisor. See, like someone having investment with me and they calls me, I can very easily help them to get it transferred to their name. Otherwise, they have to visit 10 different insurance companies, 10 different mutual fund companies and do it themselves.
And one more doubt, Prabhuji. Suppose if you go on the financial advisor, because the financial advisor is the form of a company or so, and we've been trading, we've been part with them, I think. Suppose the company closes our, we lost contact with them, we can get the things done directly. Because generally, when you are doing the in the investment through a financial advisor, because when you are selling or buying, I think we have to do through him only.
Correct. So yes. So this can be answered in two parts. In our case, we are a private limited company. So it will not be dependent on one person. We are two partners and a team of 5 people. So there's a proper succession plan at place. But just in case your financial advisor is an individual or is a bank RM and suppose he leaves the branch or is individuals and suppose he change the profession, still if we have all these details and come to another proper financial advisor with these details, it can be very smooth transition. It will not be a big deal. So nothing will be lost and everything can be managed in a hassle-free way if you have all the details. So details is the key.
Yeah.
You have all the details with you. For details, you need not be like you should, suppose it is a bank, you should have all account numbers and branch name. If it is mutual fund, you need to have all folio numbers at place.
Okay.
So once the folio number is there, then for advisor, it becomes very easy to get it transferred to your name.
Yes.
And how we have to contact.
I think we can find
Yeah.
details of you, I think, maybe.
Sorry?
I think we'll be providing the details of you, Prabhuji. I think.
Yeah, my contact
Yeah,
details.
I can give you that, Prabhuji. So,
Yes.
Zoya Prabhu, I can guide all of you.
Yes.
So whenever you want, I can just guide you.
Sure.
So there are some questions in the chat box, like somebody want the same thing in Telugu. So that will be done. So we have recorded this session. So we'll go through this session and we'll explain to that. And Lata Mataji, she told that there is excellent talk. We all got full inputs regarding financial information. Shall we get proper Gopal Prabhuji's? Yes, okay. So that also can be done. So I'll give the contact number, Mataji.
Thank you,
Lata Mataji.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji.
Yeah, so we'll take care of it. So anybody has got any other questions, please come forward. Otherwise, so it's not the last session or something like that. You can have these questions after this session also. You can prepare some questions. In future also, you can get clarified. So as of now, if anybody is having some questions, please.
Prabhuji, I have one question.
Yeah.
Actually, now the young and dynamic people started their career. They are vigorously involving in charity domains. So in that case, they are not seeking their money for. They are not saving properly. So can you give advice to the young and dynamic career peoples?
Madhi, what you said, they are involved in
charity. They are going for a social.
Yeah. Right. So generally, what
Social
we happens to such devotees and such people that for them to be able to do charity in a better way, in a prolonged way, they need to manage their finances in a proper way. See, like it's simple. Like if I wish to serve the devotees in temple, first I should be able to take care of my own health. If I am not well, how I am going to serve the devotees? So in the same way, someone wish to do charity or someone wish to do something for Prabhupada's mission or Guru Maharaj mission, first they need to learn to manage their finances in a proper way. Then they can fulfill this objective in a better way, in a faster way, for a prolonged period. So we need to explain this thing to the young generation because they're
thinking this charity is one of the good work they can do as per Lord Krishna. So they're telling they're vigorously doing and involving in that, and they're not at all caring about saving money.
It's very important. Even when we travel through air, the first instruction they give is in terms of low pressure of air. First, you should put the oxygen mask to your own nose. Then you'll be able to help the 10, 15, 20 people. Otherwise, if we keep on saving our neighbor and we haven't put the oxygen mask on our own face, then within minutes we'll be unconscious. We'll not be able to save even the one person who is our neighbor. So to be able to serve others, to be able to help others, to be able to do charity in a better way, we should have our basics at place. Otherwise, it becomes then it is not a structured, proper, planned way to help or to do the charity.
Yes, Guruji.
Even temples, we see that whether small or big, they have their 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year plan at place. They have their savings. Temple devotees, the senior devotees, the sannyasis, they are completely dependent on Lord Krishna. But still, when it comes to their own part, we have to do our own part. We can't say that, okay, let happen what is going to happen in the future. Of course, everything will happen as per Krishna's will, but we have to do our own part first. And then we can tell, yes, now we are dependent on Krishna.
Fine, Guruji. Thank you. I can come. Thank you, Guruji.
Fine, Prabhu. Looks like there are no further questions.
Yeah.
Thank you all the devotees for your patient hearing. And I apologize this language problem. So I think Brajeshwar Shyam Prabhu will help us solve that issue.
Myself and Ratna Kumari Mataji would like to profusely thank you for sparing your time, and also to Guruji to think about us at every stage in our life. Ratna Kumari Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Actually, Guruji is thinking in all requirements what we need. And thank you, Prabhuji, for your time, spending time with us. Thank you so much. And you want to say something?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving insight regarding various aspects of investments and various aspects of how to think about your present and the future. Very good session. I think there's a sufficient inputs have been given because I'm totally new to the subject, and so very elaborative. And thank you to Brajeshwar Prabhu Guruji also for providing me this session and giving opportunity to hear Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. We pray to Lord that you all should be able to do all the services, all the goals, all the financial goals you have in your mind for your own self, for your family, for the community, and for the well-being of everyone. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So, Prabhu, thank you very much. And one or two things just for clarification. So, for managing these funds, how much commission you will be charging?
Yeah. So for all these investments, we get commission from the mutual fund company. So we need not charge separately to the clients. And this commission is generally depends between say 0.05 to 0.5% for debt funds, and is generally between 0.1 to 0.8% for equity mutual funds.
Okay.
But this will be not going from the this will not be the charge. This will not be charged separately to the devotees, but this will be getting from the mutual fund companies. So there is no additional extra charge to the devotees.
Okay. And one more thing is that if the people are having enough money to buy a car or a land, something like that, still if they put everything in mutual funds and they go for loan, is it recommended?
No, it's not recommended. It's not recommended to go for a personal loan. It's not recommended to go for a car loan. Someone who is into business, he can consider, because on whatever interest cost, they will be saving the tax. But for individuals, we can refrain from taking any loan. We should not take anything on EMI through credit card. First, we should repay everything. Only home loan is one thing which also will be requiring individual discussion. Devotees need to call me and we can discuss it. But otherwise, other than home loan, we should not continue with any loan. We should repay the loan first and then only we should invest.
Well, thank you, Vijay. Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for your time. So you are given very practical and very ideal inputs. So the devotees may come forward. So the next step we'll be thinking, we'll be contacting you. So what to do? I'll be in touch with you.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Guru.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.
Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। अनंत जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय। ओम तत्सत।
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
గురుజీ నెక్స్ట్ సండే మళ్ళీ మీరు ఇలా ప్లాన్ చేస్తే తెలుగులో కొంచెం
నెక్స్ట్ సండే కాదు మాది, మధ్యలోనే మనం ప్లాన్ చేసుకుందాం. ఇప్పుడు ఇది ఆల్రెడీ రికార్డ్ చేస్తాం సెషన్ అంతా కూడా. Yes, please. Thank you. I thought you. Thank you so much. Yeah. హరే కృష్ణ.
హరే కృష్ణ గురుజీ.
అందరూ కొంచెం మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి. సో ఇప్పుడు మనం ఇదంతా కూడా రికార్డ్ చేసాము. ఈ రికార్డ్ చేసింది మళ్ళీ ప్లే చేసి అందరం కలుద్దాం. ఈ రోజు ఎవరెవరు ఉన్నారో అందరం కలుద్దాం. సో మనకు అర్థమైన రీతిలో దాన్ని డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం. ఇప్పుడు ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ అనేది ఈయన కొంచెం హై లెవెల్ లో చెప్పుండొచ్చు, చిన్న లెవెల్ నుంచి కూడా చేయొచ్చు, చిన్న లెవెల్లో ఇండివిజువల్ గా కూడా చేయొచ్చు, అన్ని లెవెల్లో చేయొచ్చు, అన్ని రకాలుగా చేయొచ్చు. ప్రతి వాళ్ళ ఇది కూడా వాళ్ళ యొక్క కెపాసిటీ లేకపోతే వాళ్ళ యొక్క ఇది అనేది చూసి, ఇది ఏంటంటే మనం ఎప్పుడు కూడా వండర్స్ ని ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేయకూడదు. మనం ఏమనుకుంటాం అంటే ఇదేదో ఈయన చెప్పిన దాని వల్ల రేపు మనం లక్షాధికారి అయిపోతామని మాత్రం మన మనసులో తీసేయాలి. మనకు ఉన్నది ఉన్న దాంట్లో న్యాయంగా చక్కగా ఎటువంటి ఇబ్బంది లేకుండా మనం ముందుకెళ్ళడానికి గైడ్ చేస్తారు. అది అట్లా మనం అనుకోవాలి. ఇప్పుడు ఏంటంటే ఈ రోజున ఇది విన్నాం కదా, ఈ రోజు 1,00,000 రూపాయలు పెడితే రేపు 10 లక్షలు అయిపోతుందా, మనం గొప్ప వాళ్ళు అయిపోతాం, అది లేనే లేదన్నమాట. ఇందులో ఆ కాన్సెప్ట్ లేదు. మనం పెట్టిన ప్రతి పైసా కూడా మనం ప్రశాంతంగా ఉండడం కోసం, మనకి ఎటువంటి ఇబ్బంది లేకుండా ముందు సాగడం కోసం మన డివోటీ సర్కిల్ లో తయారు చేయబడినటువంటి ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ ప్లాన్ అన్నమాట ఇది. దీన్ని మించింది ఇంకోటి లేదు. ఎందుకంటే మనం డివోషన్ సర్వీస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, ఈ మన యొక్క అవసరాలు కూడా తీసుకోవచ్చు. అంత ప్రాక్టికల్ గా ఉంటుంది ఇది. ఇది సుధాకర్ బాబు ఇందాక అడిగారు కదా, ఇప్పుడు ఒకవేళ మనం ఎవరైనా ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేస్తున్నాం వాళ్ళు డిఫాల్ట్ అయితే కనుక మరి అది ఏమవుతుందని, అది ప్రాక్టికల్ గా నా కేసులో కూడా చెప్తాను. నేను చెప్పాను కదా ఇందాక యాక్సిస్ బ్యాంక్, ఐసిఐసి బ్యాంక్ లో కొన్ని ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ చేసాం 3-4 years బ్యాక్. ఆల్మోస్ట్ 7-8% అది డిప్రిషియేట్ అయిపోయింది, తగ్గిపోయింది. సో ఇంకా కూడా వెయిట్ చేయొచ్చు. కానీ ఏంటంటే వాళ్ళు, నేను చూసింది ఏంటంటే వాళ్ళ సొంత ఫండ్స్ మీద డైవర్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు ఎక్కువగా. వాళ్ళు యాక్సిస్ బ్యాంక్ వాళ్ళు సొంతంగా ఫ్లోట్ చేసినటువంటి వాటి మీద చేస్తున్నారు. దాంతో నేను అన్ని ఫోలియో నెంబర్స్ మాత్రమే తీసుకొచ్చి ఈయనకి ఇచ్చాను. సో ఆయన ప్రాక్టికల్ గా అన్ని కూడా ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ అయిపోయినాయి ఆయన దగ్గరికి. సో మన దాని గురించి కూడా ఎక్కువ వర్రీ అవసరం పని లేదు. జస్ట్ ఫోలియో నెంబర్ తీసుకెళ్లి వీళ్ళకి ఇచ్చి మనం పేపర్ మీద సంతకం పెడితే అవన్నీ కూడా వాళ్ళే ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ చేసుకుంటారు. అది సో అది దీని మీద ఇంకా ఇప్పటితో తేలిపోలేదు రోజు. మనం దీని మీద ఇంకా కూడా మదం చేయాలి, కూర్చుని ఇంకా ప్రాక్టికల్ గా ఆలోచించాలి. సో కేస్ టు కేసు కూడా ఆలోచించి ఎవరు కనుక చేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నారు డెఫినెట్ గా ఆయనతో ఒక అపాయింట్మెంట్ తీసుకుని మీ కేసుని ఆయనతో డిస్కస్ చేసి ఏ రకంగా ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ చేయొచ్చు మాట్లాడచ్చు. అది
అలాగే గురూజీ, తప్పకుండా గురూజీ ఆయనతో మాట్లాడదాం.
సో ఇది ఇంకా 1 or 2 సెషన్స్ మనం తెలుగులో కూడా డిస్కస్ చేసుకుని ప్రాక్టికల్ కూడా ఆలోచించి మనం ముందుకు వెళ్దాం.
అలాగే
హరే కృష్ణ గురూజీ.
హరే
కృష్ణ గురూజీ. ఇది కాదు గురూజీ, నేను ఇంకొక చిన్న డౌట్ ఏంటంటే, మన సాయంత్రం 3 to 4 కి ఏ లింక్ ఇమ్మంటారు అని అన్నది. అంతే, మళ్ళీ అయిపోతుంది కదా, మళ్ళీ మీకు కాల్ చేసి డిస్టర్బ్ చేయడం ఎందుకు అని.
2 to 3 అని చెప్పారు మాది ఈ రోజు. 2 to 3 అట, ఎందుకంటే 3 to 4 వేరే క్లాస్ ఉన్నట్టు మాది.
2 to 3 నా ఇంతవరకు చెప్పలేదు గురించి నేను.
ఇప్పుడే మాతో చెప్పలేదు నాతో 2 to 3 పెడదాం. 3 to 4 రెగ్యులర్ 18 days క్లాస్ అవుతుంది మాతాజీకి.
మరి
లింక్ పంపిస్తాను.
మన కీర్తన క్లాస్ ఉంది కదా గురూజీ,
దానికి ఇంకో లింక్ ఉంది కదా, 2 ఉన్నాయి లింక్.
అయితే ఇప్పుడు మీరు పెట్టేస్తారా గురూజీ? అయితే లింక్
ఇప్పుడు పెడతాను మీకు.
సరే గురూజీ. హరే కృష్ణ.
ఓకే. వాంఛాకల్పతరుభ్యశ్చ కృపాసింధుభ్యశ్చ పతితానాం పావనేభ్యో
వైష్ణవేభ్యో నమో నమః. అనంత కోటి వైష్ణవ భక్తవృంద की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय. हरि ओम तत्सत.
హరే కృష్ణ.
हरे कृष्ण. हरे कृष्ण.